that I've been shooting in South Africa is me bridging the connections between the diaspora and in South Africa as it pertains to hip-hop and its origins. If you recognize a lot of the research that is done in Africa, especially here as it pertains to folks here in the Western Hemisphere, is that we focus so much on West Africa or Kemet. We put so much emphasis on Ghana or Nigeria or Senegal or Ivory Coast within that space, but you don't see a big emphasis on South Africa. And to be honest with you, that's where the roots are. The L0 mitochondria, the oldest mitochondria on the planet, comes from South Africa. I figured I would focus on that region and also make its connections, its ancestral connections to hip-hop. And if you was to listen to the things that the folks were saying in that video, a lot of those elements that they're talking about naturally exist in hip-hop. Those are the tenets that builds hip-hop. The drum is the #1 instrument in hip-hop. You listen to any song in hip-hop, you can't have a hip-hop song without a drum. You know, you need that bass line. So the instrument, which Makazi and Venda, she said the heartbeat of the people is the drum. Okay? Graffiti. Think about the sigils that you see throughout Africa, the geometric patterns and shapes that existed long before we had the art called graffiti over here. You could draw huge parallels and look at the similarities between graffiti and even the glyphs that you see in Kemet, or Adinka symbols, for instance, or anything else you could think of that folks, the patterns that people put on the kente cloth, all of that. And then you look at the colors that we use in graffiti. You know, it's very similar. Dance. You look at breakdancing. Breakdancing comes from Africa. It existed long before it was called breakdancing. A lot of the same ways people moved in the African continent, and you see how folks do things now, or even how when it was named breakdancing, and even before it was called breakdancing, diasporans that was doing particular types of dances in the 40s and in the 30s, that looked just like breakdancing at that time frame as well. So those dances existed long before it was coined breakdancing. We didn't talk about this in the video, but call and response. Think about hip hop in terms of an MC on a stage in concert. It's let me hear you say ho, 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 call and response. Or even recently with Kendrick Lamar's song, Not Like Us. Let me hear you say OV ho, OV ho. You know what I mean? Pardon my language. But yeah, that's call and response. You see that in those who practice in Yoruba traditions, and you sing the songs of the Orisha. That's call and response. That's call and response. This thing's been around since forever.